Armando R Washers Pressure Washing out of Kemah, Texas. We conduct pressure washing services. We manufacture pressure washers, fabrication. This is our shop at 1120 Winfield Lane in Kemah, Texas. This is where we build our pressure washers. Every shop, it's very imperative that we have a forklift. Forklift is a must-have, considering that what we build are trailers, and that's what the pressure washers are mounted on. So we get started with the forklift. That's a very imperative tool. This is our shop. It gets us by. It's nothing perfect. This right here, this stainless steel container, is actually it's the stainless steel insulated container used for making soap. Now, what most people would consider this is a 250-gallon Yeti cup. This keeps the temperature inside. It's insulated. It's a very good product for making soap, and that's what its purpose is. This right here is a bandsaw, hydraulic, really wonderful. You can basically lift it, and it goes down on its own and slowly cuts the metal. We do a lot of fabrication here. We build chassis, skids, things of that nature, and we use this very frequently. And it's very good because instead of having to squirt alcohol on the blade, it actually produces a fluid. It just basically recirculates and keeps the blade lubricated. And these blades are expensive. You don't want to have to replace them daily. Over here, this is the electrical station. I am by no means an electrical guru. My father is. He's really great with this work. He's also a big fan of soldering. It's a really, you have a better product whenever you solder. You have a better connection. It's also a longer lasting product. Very few companies do that. Very few pressure washing companies actually solder their equipment. And we think that's imperative because we're a lot more about creating a quality product instead of trying to make something cheap. That's one of the things that we're about here. As you can see right here, this is a very heavy-duty trailer. Some people have considered this an overkill trailer. We don't consider this an overkill. We consider this a necessity for quality. This right here is an Isuzu diesel motor rated for 27.5 horsepower. This is going to be a 5,000 and 5.6 rated pressure washer. We call them a 5,005 because we put 10% of the water on bypass, so it is going to be a 5,005 when everything's said and done. But we use 8-inch C-channel for the frame. Here, this is going to be a 28-gallon fuel tank used to fuel just the burner. The burner consumes 3 to 4 times as much fuel as a motor. So it's not a bad idea to have a separate fuel tank from the motor, because whenever this fuel is gone, the burner will not work anymore. However, if you have a separate fuel tank for your engine is going to still operate, and you can still finish the job with cold water. And it's really important for having this. A lot of people's systems are integrated to where whenever this runs out, the engine also dies, and you're done with the job, and you're in a bind. And you don't want to be in a bind. Especially, there's a lot of times guys are in a time crunch, especially you oil and gas industry guys, you guys that work for Marathon, Lyondell. You don't want to be in a bind with this kind of equipment, and sometimes you have deadlines. And that's the reason why we put this into account. There's small details that make a quality product. So that's what we do on things like this. We do it on a Tandem Axle, makes a very strong chassis. This is intended for a 275-gallon tote. It's going to basically hold the water, and it's going to be fed through the pump. The pump's going to suck the water out of the tank. So if you're in a place that's rural where you have low water pressure, you don't have to worry about having a direct feed with your garden hose. You're going to be able to suck the water from the water tote into your pump. And then, obviously, that's where you get your pressure and your gallons per minute. So you don't have to worry about low pressure washing in rural areas. Grinders, we use this so that we can basically grind metal, make it look a lot better, make it look like it's brand new. This is our pump working station. We have a couple of pumps we've been working on. Little motor for a 120 volt burner that we're going to eventually use. This welding table, we actually fabricated this ourselves. It's a beautiful product that we built ourselves. We actually painted it. It's really great welding table. These holes are actually intended for clamps, and so if we ever want to eventually also work with jigs, we can actually place jigs, and then we can have a production line and produce several components of the exact same size and the same quality, so that we can actually produce multiple things at a time instead of having to do everything with tape measure and pencil. We have I hate to admit it, but it's a Harbor Freight Chicago Electric plasma cutter, but this thing is wonderful. This thing, you know, for the price, it's a great product. This thing is really great for cutting metal. I call this the shortcut cutter. So it's a good shortcut cutter. We also keep a reserve of a Beckett 12-volt burner in our stock in case we have a customer who needs to have a 12-volt burner swapped out if their 12-volt burner is beyond repair. Beckett makes wonderful burners. We're big fans of the 12-volt burner. This right here, we get this from Coils R Us. This is going to be what they call a tank and coil. Some people call it a coil and tank. Coil, whatever. Tank and coil is what we call it. The Farleys have been very good to us, and Melvin Farley is the guy who runs Coils R Us. Our family has dealt with them for decades, and they're the ones that we get our products from, and they have really good coils. That's the reason why we use their products. Perfection is what we're about, not cheap. We don't go with North Star. We like quality products. More expensive, but okay. Over here, this is going to be a barrel. This is where we hold our scrap metal. The scrap metal is, it is what it is. After we cut metals, over here where we have our original intended size, this is where the leftover metal goes. Whether it's going to be scrapped later, we're going to use it for a later production. That's what this is intended for. This, I can say in so many words, has had so many uses to where we don't actually have to use the forklift. This has a lot of applications. We've used this very regularly for not even just picking up engines, but for picking up large objects that two individuals would not be able to carry. Right here, we're working on a project where we're actually putting in a fuel tank that's going to go on a pressure washer. It's been tack welded. Miller makes wonderful welding machines. This is what we use for our welding practice, our welding operations, whatever you would like to call it. This is a Miller-Matic 180. We're very big fans of Miller. These machines last for a very long time. They're very worth the money that they cost. So this is what we use for our welding operation, and this has been used actually for all the welds in this machine. People look at the small welding machine and are surprised at the kind of welds that we get on the equipment like this, but it's really amazing. Once again, we have another Beckett burner right here. It's brand new. This is on the new build. This is going to be a rental. This is a brand new tank and coil. Coils R Us, wonderful company. Over here, we have a drill press. It is a Sears Craftsman, but this thing it's a lifesaver. We use this for lots of different applications. We drill holes into the metal, and we have different drill bit sizes, and this is what we put on the brackets, so that this is what we call detail work. I could bore you with this all day, but this is very frequently used. You always want to put oil on there because these drill bits are expensive. You always want to make sure that you oil it so that the drill bits last longer because it's lubricated. Kind of like whenever you run an engine without oil. It goes bad very quick if you don't have any. This is spare hoses that we carry. We do sell 2-wire, 1-wire hoses. It's a product that we carry. It's what customers need frequently. And this right here is going to be a hot water pressure washer that we currently have, run with a Comet pump. It's going to be, this is a 3,000 PSI at 6 gallon per minute unit. We have a 110 gallon fuel tank. This thing is wonderful. I've used this for quite a while now. We have a 12-volt Beckett burner. We have the tank and coil. We have a Kubota D722 on the machine. We're big fans of diesel. Diesel lasts a lot longer than gas engines. They have They have there's a lot of positive things about diesel, which is why I like using them. The only negative to diesels is they're costly. They're very costly. They're not the cheapest engines to purchase. But with Comet, we're big fans of Comet. Comet Pumps is it's a very good brand. It's a very good company. I'm a very big fan of Comet. People that work there are great, and I'm very happy with their products. My father's been using them for years. They're a preference for us. Some other people prefer other pumps, but Comet is our preference, and then that's what we put on our machines. But that about concludes the tour here in our shop. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at 713-203-4094. Visit us at www.rwashers.com, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will be creating more videos. I'll have videos on pressure washing applications, certain how-to cleaning methods, and then we're also going to have tutorials on how to build machines, how to service your machine, how to fix your burners, how to fix your pumps, how to extract packings. We're going to have a lot of videos, and I look forward to y'all visiting. If y'all have any questions, comment, like us, and don't hesitate to give us a call. We're an open book. I appreciate you, and have a good day.